His 41st season, and can his team defend that title and vie for number 13? Michelle Woods-Baxter on the other side, the interim head coach for South Florida, named in late October, taking over for the long-tenured Jose Fernandez now with the Dallas Wings. Quickly getting started as the Huskies come in undefeated on the season at 7-0. Ashlynn Shade knocking down the triple. Welcome sign. She knocked down 4 in that last game against Xavier.
Always a huge sign for Shade. She was struggling a little bit from the perimeter going into that Xavier game, but was very good and efficient in that one.
Two former foes out of the American, now UConn in the Big East.
Couple of keys for South Florida. One is going to be taking care of the basketball and not turning it over, but they also need to take time off the shot clock. They were saying they want to slow the game down as much as possible on the quarter court.
Well, taking that shot with 5 seconds remaining in the shot clock, Stephanie Ingram off the mark, back the other way. Here come the Huskies, averaging nearly 90 points a game. Azzi Fudd with great movement in the paint, wraps around, curls, and puts it in.
The best three-point shooter in the country in terms of her quick release and her ability to hit from outside, but she's not just a three-point shooter.
Sarah Strong out to guard Carla Brito. And KK Arnold, the active hands, edging there, gets the steal. Strong looking up ahead, and the sophomore pulls up and knocks down the trade. Last year's freshman of the year.
Does want them to take some more chances on the defensive end of the floor.
Again, deep into the shot clock. This is Lewis Williams, who's off the mark. Strong back the other way. Again, 3 straight triples, 3 for 3 from downtown so far for UConn. Strong move inside from Sarah Williams. Williams, who came to the program this year from Wisconsin.
And Sarah Strong, understanding that she did not have the high-low pass, instead passed it to the left side of the floor where the angle was better to get it into Williams.
Brito off the mark, the rebound, and Laura Mputu is fouled. You mentioned Mputu being a rebounding force, coming off her best season last year, most improved player in the conference in that 2024-25 campaign, and is able to roll around the second. Sarah Strong receives it. Just what a take, leaves it short there, coming from the backside with Shade, got a hand on it. It's Brito up ahead. Mputu going to work on Williams, nice move and in. This UConn team, who started off the season with a win in Annapolis, a neutral site game over Louisville, coming off their first conference win over Xavier Sunday, stolen away by the Bulls. Tried to poke it from behind, was Arnold unsuccessful in doing so. And right now, just registering the points and coming within 2 possessions on that make from Brito. The departure of Paige Beckers and Caitlin Chin for the WNBA has helped open things up in that backcourt. You see that pressure picking up, intensifying for the Huskies. And again, some very active hands. Strong on the floor. It's in the hands of Azzi Fudd. 3 turnovers now for the Bulls, and it converts into points. And how special is she thus far? One of 2 players in Division I with 50% field goal percentage, along with from three-point land and 90% from the free throw line.
I mean, that's ridiculous. She takes 7 threes per game and still shooting at a 55% clip.
To make back the other way for South Florida. The jumper was good by Ingram. What a cut into Azzi Fudd, and Fudd, who is 4 of 5 from the floor. And we've seen South Florida play a little bit faster in the half court, as you talked about wanting to slow it down. They're taking their time here on this possession with 13 left in the shot clock. Mputu getting hit from the elbow.
They run so many screens and so much off-ball action. You want to make Connecticut have to exert some energy on the defensive end before you take your shot.
The true freshman and Blanca Quinonez out of Ecuador.
Positive thing, and here is the 2-player game. Coach Auriemma said he was going to go to it a little bit more with Sarah Strong and Azzi Fudd. No screen set there, just the high cut and the back cut with the beautiful on-the-money pass.
You talked about just how special of a passer Sarah Strong is. I mean, you look at every area of her game. She led the team in all categories and rebounding.
So she finds teammates the way Diana Taurasi did.
Right.
That's pretty high praise.
Indeed. Strong, ball fake, puts it on the deck. Nice take with the finish on the right. UConn, who's gotten off to strong starts in the early non-conference. Swung over, Tomczycka. He's off and out and running. As Ingram gets a hand on it, it goes back to Quinonez from downtown.
And that's the thing when UConn goes with this smaller lineup.
And Fudd tipping it away, goes into the backcourt. Jelena Blanca heaves it up. There, mails it. And Fudd off the screen. Kicks it over to Quinonez. Can she knock down another triple? Yes, on the other side of the court.
And great awareness from Azzi Fudd. She was going to her right off of the screen.
She's running the point guard duties. Swiped away from behind by Strong, both on the floor. Jump ball.
What helps her be so incredibly disruptive. So she hedges out on the on ball, reaches around from the other side, able to deflect it without getting a foul called. Just about 3.5 steals per game. And just great quickness in her hands.
Inside. 14 foul for UConn. Blanca Quinonez with her first personal foul. It was Williams with 2. Absolutely cannot wait. Where are you headed Thursday?
I'll be in Duke. For LSU Duke.
Talk about defensive havoc. Dictating and disrupting
Yes,
is what
there
Coach
you go.
Love loves to do. And top steals get her and Hannah Hidalgo. Keeping with it. Fudd finds Shade. Shade again. So strong from 3-point. Got Kentucky traveling down to Coral Gables to take on the Hurricanes. NC State and Oklahoma going head-to-head and cap off with number 19 in Tennessee. 2 top scorers for the Huskies, Fudd and Quinonez, both with 8 points apiece.
Connecticut as a team is shooting 67%, so overall they're able to get their defense set. Here's a good opportunity for South Florida finally.
And Teichman, the freshman point guard, can't get it to fall. Well off the mark here is pushing up ahead. Kaylee Heckel, who comes over from USC. And tough pass inside, handled. Shade comes up with it in the lane. No, she gets her own rebound around 2 defenders. And she's fouled by Blanca as she did defensive rebounds. And she struggled to start the season, but against the Musketeers, she really found her stroke from long range.
And she's a good shooter. And Connecticut is sort of as a team outside of Azzi Fudd struggled a little bit.
Well, having that short-term memory is ever so important. You just keep on shooting. Here's Williams sizing up the defense, trying to find any little crease, and throws it out of bounds. Sophomore pushing it up the court. Comes in. Nice skill set. Saw some really good flashes at the start of the season for Heckel. Isabel into Williams. Working on Diakite, and left-hand finish for Williams.
That was a terrific move by Williams. He used really good patience.
Some better efficiency that we've seen so far tonight on the offensive side. Kind of more of a volume shooter that you saw with her Wisconsin. Making the most of her opportunities here tonight. Isabel thought about it, gives it up for Strong in the corner. She got it!
That's so tough. That's so tough.
And right now, South Florida is just begging for a bucket. They have not seen the ball go down this quarter.
And that was a good opportunity. You know, after a long miss of a 3-point shot, they got out, they had numbers in transition. That's a really good look. They just couldn't get it to fall.
Nice pass zipped in from Shade and Williams. Sarah Williams. 8 points, 5 rebounds, and a couple of assists for Strong as the take to the hoop from Katie Davidson. Led the nation in offensive and defensive efficiency last season. Much the same this year. 24-4 run. If you're just tuning in, the top-ranked UConn Huskies, who have dominated to start this game here in Tampa. One field goal in the last 9 minutes plus for South Florida. So the suffocating defense, and then the great vision of KK Arnold. The nice assist.
The vision and the patience.
Well, thanks so much. Yes, Sarah Strong, who has been balling there. These great defense. Well, that's part of the storylines for the Bulls. Meanwhile, 4 players for the Huskies with 8 points or more. Strong leading the way. She's the only one in double figures thus far with 10. Quinonez. What a move from Blanca Quinonez.
I was asking Coach Oriama this morning who Blanca reminds him of, if there's any kind of former UConn player, and he said, go back to Svetlana Abrosimova.
The fact that she comes on, she's like a wildfire, and she just really sparks when she's in the game. 4 or 5 from the floor. She's got 10 points. Couldn't complete the three-point play there.
Yeah, she just is disruptive. Disruptive both offensively and defensively.
Davidson with a good look from 3. Quinonez, one of 5 newcomers for UConn, spent the past 4 seasons playing in Italy. Didn't get on the court for the first 2 games. KK Arnold over to Azzi Fudd. Pure stroke from Fudd. Back iron. UConn, who is come in with the standard. They have looked spectacular all season long. The one time they were pushed was against Michigan. They were able to walk away with the win there. And that one, a welcome sign on the baseline jumper. There's Fudd. Well, the graduate student already with her bachelor's, working on her master's, came back for a final season, finds her buddy. Tomaszewska, who again, a great game, has been held scoreless thus far. Shot clock winding down, Brito puts it up, doesn't hit any piece of the rim. And right now, advantage Huskies.
These two teams have played each other enough over the course of time to understand what the strategy might be as a whole.
Quinonez rattles it home from 3. And what an outstanding first half we've seen from Blanca Teichman. That tight defense there, but she gets it in off glass. And that takes us to the close of the first half. The Huskies have shot the ball from the 3-point line, 8 of 16, and having success in the paint as well. KK Arnold and this Husky crew ready to go. On-ball defender as Ingram has it in her hand, and we'll see what's in store for the second half.
South Florida could not initiate their offense because of the way Azzi Fudd was denying the wing entry pass, and that just makes more time tick off the clock for South Florida. It was incredible defense. How do you slow a team down? You don't let them initiate the offense there. You saw it, Azzi Fudd not worried about the backdoor cut. What a spin by Sarah Strong, isn't able to finish. But they're certainly not playing defense conservatively.
The steal right here, KK Arnold. Turnover there for Arnold. The biggest lead coming out of the break this year was tonight. We held Loyola Chicago to 14 points in the first half, 16 for South Florida, and the flip in by Lewis.
She made the right read, back cut, finally able to get a good look inside.
Williams, who was efficient in that first half, was perfect 3 of 3. Sarah Strong posting up on Brito and just overpowers Brito. Now she has taken some punishment the last couple of plays here. Brito, open look for 3. She got it.
That's how she responds.
That's how you bounce back, huh?
Bump on one end, a bump on the other, and then steps in and drains the 3.
First 3 of the night for South Florida, now 1 of 9 from beyond the arc. And Strong flips it over to Arnold. Arnold saw an open path to the bucket and got it. The Wildcats with the triplets of Tiani Key, Clara Strack, and Amelia Hassett. Brooks, who can make some noise in the SEC this season.
It's always just fun to watch the Lady Vols play because of their style, the frequency of subbing, the amount of threes that they take. It's always a high-paced, interesting style to play.
Strong spin moves, picks up the dribble. Wonderful pass, and Ashlynn Shady was cutting to the basket. From Sheetska, they want to see get going for South Florida, coming off a great game. It's Brito trying to go to work. And again, another hand on it. Last touch by South Florida.
She is just kind of taking it to another level in terms of her hard denies out on the perimeter and the energy with which she is playing on the defensive end.
Florida National Player of the Year candidate. Nice swing to Shade. No. Fudd projected to be a top pick in the WNBA draft next year as KK Arnold right there. The swipe puts it in. Showcased 31 points. Did that kind of notch her back up? Because it was kind of going back and forth between maybe Azzi, Fudd, or Olive Fan.
Yeah, to me, as you see, another incredible defensive possession by Connecticut. It started last year in the Final Four. Going into this season, my thought was if Azzi Fudd can continue to play the way she did in last year's Final Four throughout the course of the season, she's the #1 pick, and she certainly has continued to do that so far this year.
Most outstanding player on the Final Four a season ago, and that one was knocked down by Ali Zabel. Back the other way, and the answer job that Jose Fernandez did here in terms of came off a conference tournament championship as a solid play on defense from the Bulls. Produced a number of All-Americans, Courtney Williams among them, as that one goes up and is by Inez Piper. A great program. A lot of respect shared between these two coaches, and you just knew it was a matter of time. Just the way Fernandez would run the offense, the number of sets he ran.
Jose, one of the first to really tap into the international talent.
When you look at the last decade, the program with the most international players since the 2015-16 season, South Florida right up there with another USF in San Francisco. You also have to mention Michelle Woods-Baxter, who was by his side, now the interim head coach for the last 17 seasons in her 18th year, now leading this program. I mean, she was taking those trips overseas and going in the living rooms and helping to sell this program and take pro players and put them and make them successful in the college game.
And she's got a game to me that is similar to Marie Joan Hannes from the New York Liberty, the French player. Just a flair to her, can create her own shot, looks for cross-court passes.
As the interim head coach, she says, we're still trying to find that team chemistry, trying to come together and gel as a group. Just nowhere to go. And finally put in with time winding off. And Mputu with the deuce. Approaching the closing minute as, again, Azzi Fudd doing Azzi Fudd things. Gina Auriemma loves, the fact that she has kind of come more into what you expect to see out of one of the most outstanding players in the country.
And you just see her get a rebound. I don't know those who watch post-game press conferences how much they've heard Coach Auriemma get on Azzi Fudd about her rebounding over the last couple of seasons.
She does that, make her game nearly unstoppable as that one ends up in the hands of 35 in blue. And so Fudd will take a breather. Everybody will settle in the half court as the Huskies will hold for the final shot of the third quarter. Fudd with that contact from Ingram, who commits the foul.
They certainly
will be
were
interesting
a dynamic duo for a number of years in stores.
Zabel puts it up, and she's fouled on the way to the hoop. Had 6 in double figures last game, 16 points in 16 minutes. as you said, one of the shooters. She's going to be one of those key pieces in terms of her scoring ability. And she knocks down both free throws. She's got 8 points as that takes us. The D Foundation was awarded over $458 million in cancer research funds. And the work continues as we start the fourth quarter here from Tampa. Zabel launches from three, no. And maintained possession as Janelle Alfie in the ball game, and nice swing to the rack with Heckel. UConn, who won its 12th national championship here in Tampa back on April 6th against South Carolina.
4 of their Final Four appearances.
It's very casual.
4 of their 24. But if they stay healthy, of going undefeated in the process, they've got depth, they've got scoring in every way, whether it's three-point shooters in the starting lineup or coming in off the bench. As Coach Landers used to say when I was in studio with him, there's not a box they do not check.
Most dominant program we've seen in women's college basketball. The success year over year, 88% winning percentage for Gino Auriemma. Reverse layup, no. Alfie is there on cleanup duty into this 2025-26 campaign.
And Alfie is going to be really important to Connecticut in certain matchups, especially teams that have big, strong bigs inside. And Coach Auriemma said they wouldn't win the UCLA national semifinal game. That's drive there by Davidson.
Is there an undefeated Duke? Freshman Carlos Boozer coming off a 35-point performance. And a quick reset here for the Bulls. Teichman, freshman, will crossover, pull up. And a whistle. Teichman to the free throw line. The freshman from Israel. In South Florida, Teichman. A little bit more of the non-conference. Got the move left and right.
Not dancing.
I was trying to get you dancing a little bit more in the pregame, Rebecca. Thought we could do a little dance.
Oh, I got your post-game.
Yeah. To close out the non-conference season, they've got Southern Cal coming up. There's USC. Mark that calendar for December 13th. Looking to stay sharp as Teichman swing it over. Sharm looking. Huskies just kind of taking their time here. Khalees Fisher can't get it to fall. She gets her own board, the Big East preseason freshman of the year. And coming right back is Heckel.
She had a great game in UConn season opener against Louisville, and Heckel, especially when she comes in for KK on, and how they just were able to dominate Notre Dame earlier this season on a neutral floor, and then the way they performed, taking UConn all the way to the wire. Iowa's had a strong season as well so far in the Big Ten.
Patterson with the rebound, and Patterson is fouled for UConn. Patterson out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. And UConn out of the Big East. Obviously, they have run things since returning. They outscored opponents by a plus 34 margin last season. More impressively, though, when you look at the NCAA tournament, they were just as good. Just how special and dynamic of a player that she is, or she's worked on this season, is trying to just strengthen her confidence. Obviously, when you have Paige Beckers on your team last year, she said, hey, she provided some guidance for me. But Sarah Strong is becoming more vocal, but she just leads by example as well. 4th double-double of the season, and that's a nice take there from Fisher, but 14 points, 10 rebounds tonight. And she did it without much discussion.
Yeah, it is remarkable. And one of the areas, wow, really nice take and finish there. With Sarah Strong, she's become a more vocal leader, and that's not a place that she's necessarily naturally comfortable, but she understands that she has to be that to to be the best version of herself.
That Danny played at North Carolina State. And when you look at just the remarkable freshman season, are concerned about a sophomore slump. We haven't seen that yet to start the season. You don't expect that either from Sarah Strong.
There's just a maturity and a consistency with her game where you don't expect that from her.
That's a big statement.
Yeah, she's certainly one of the special players who's ever come through the program.
That freshman season, National Freshman of the Year, freshman record in the NCAA tournament with 114 points. Again, a record for UConn in freshman rebounds. Assist, led the team along with steals, second in points. When we think about the Maya Moores and the Sue Birds, our partner Rebecca Lobo, Diana Taurasi, Swing Cash. I mean, the list goes on and on as Brito knocks down the tray.
Brianna Stewart, you know, the one
Brianna
who made
Stewart,
one
oh yeah,
four.
yeah, 4 in a row from 2013 to 2016.
And Coach Oriam has talked about that, how much he enjoys when she's looking directly into a soul year or so, where you feel like he is enjoying every moment with this group of women,
looking to have an amazing year. And the hope is that she remains healthy. Charm. And nice cut back in.
Burst of speed in order to tap that ball, get it ahead, then another good job moving without the basketball and finish at the rim.
Mputu spin move, and Mputu has been full command by UConn. Patterson throws it out of bounds. From the free throw line, banks it in. Naismith Hall of Famer inductee Sue Bird against the Blue Demons Sunday, and then 16th ranked USC coming up along with him. Okay, that'll be a big one.
Coach Oriam told us earlier this season that there's not a defender that can keep police from going by them.
High expectations for the Baltimore, Maryland native. Played our high school ball at nearby Bradenton's IMG. This South Florida team just outmatched by the #1 ranked Huskies. You know, where do the Bulls go from here, and is there anything that they can build on from tonight's game?
Yeah, well, certainly they continue to learn from it, and you know they had a lot of issues initiating their offense, but they're not going to face a lot of teams. Well, I guess they do have a ridiculous, but to me that would be the biggest thing is the comfort level and what you have to do offensively when your initial initiating pass is taken away.
Duke here at home. Piper out to Mputu. Traveling violation. The way they handcuffed the Bulls for much of the night. And while offensively, shot 50% from the floor. It's going to go up there as Heckel with the cut to the basket. UConn, 4 players in double figures, led by Sarah Strong's double-double tonight with 14 and 10. We'll close out the game with the final mate bucket of the night, but a dominating